It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
I want to welcome to the program and introduce you to a guy by the name of Richard Harris. Richard is a candidate for the mayor of Russellville, and I know the runoff election is today. Richard, how you doing, sir?
Doing well, Paul. Thank you.
Just first of all, tell us a little bit about your background and why you decided to run.
Well, Paul, I've worked worked for Entergy for 34 years. I retired in 2015. I've been an engineer and worked in operations at the Arkansas Nuclear One here in Russellville. And I did serve a couple of terms on the city council during that period of time. Felt like it was something I wanted to do to just contribute to the city and try to make some impact on the direction of the city. So served 2 terms. After 2 terms, I got off the city council because I do work in the private sector and I was very busy at the time. But early this year, the issue of a casino in Polk County, actually a casino in Arkansas, came up, and I just didn't like the stance of the leaders in our community on the casino issue, so I felt like I should run to give the citizens an option as to which direction they wanted their community to go.
And you have to forgive me, but I haven't really seen this reported, and I don't really know, but are there leaders in the city of Russellville that are excited about the idea of a casino? Do they think that's a good thing for the city of Russellville?
Well, early on, Paul, there were some leaders that were excited about it, but I think they measured the sentiment of the citizens in Polk County and recognized that it wasn't a winning position for them going forward into, especially if they were running for re-election. So they kind of dampened their enthusiasm to a large extent, and the citizens, as you probably know, overwhelmingly rejected the casino amendment in Polk County in the general election. So I think a lot of the leaders that were enthusiastic and wanted to come out on the front of this kind of decided they better do it more covertly than overtly in order to protect their status in the community. Interesting.
Well, I mean, it seems to me like, wow, that would kind of be not the government. I don't think people would want. They would just want their leaders to be honest with them about how they felt about an issue. If they really are looking at the books, though, and they're thinking, government getting, more money here means that the government can do more and more things, then, I mean, if that's their mentality, then you would think they would be on board with the casino, right? Because it's supposed to generate a bunch of new revenue, right?
Well, yeah, and depending on who you talk to, the numbers vary. But, to me, Paul, it's not about the numbers. It's about the community. It's about the impact on our community, on our children that we're going to be raising in this community. The dollars are not that important when it comes to our core values. And we can make money. This state community is not hurting financially. This county is not hurting financially. We can grow. We can prosper. We don't need casino money to have productive and fruitful lives here in Polk County.
So what happened? Weren't there 2 issues on the ballot? I mean, there was one that the whole state voted on. Casinos, yes or no, and then wasn't there another specific one on the ballot for those of Polk County where they could come back at a later date and reject this thing?
Yeah, Paul. The very frustrating. The Arkansas law is what the Arkansas law is, and it allows anyone who can get a ballot initiative get enough signatures to put to change our state constitution, and that's what happened in this case. In Polk County, the citizens of Polk County weren't asked if we wanted to be on this initiative, who wanted a casino. So a select few people decided that Polk County should have a casino, and so they got the signatures on the amendment title, and they got it passed through and the state Supreme Court supported it, and ultimately the citizens of Arkansas voted for that amendment. But what we wanted to do was take over some control ourselves, and so we initiated, the citizens for a Better Polk County initiated a ballot initiative for Polk County, which allowed for the citizens to have a vote on this before a casino could be built in our county. And that passed overwhelmingly in the general election.
Okay. So that one passed overwhelmingly in the general, and then the casino, amendment was, it failed overwhelmingly when it comes to Pope County, and I think that's significant. So, and again, we're talking with Richard Harris. He's a candidate for Russellville mayor. I know the runoff's today. So Richard, what does that mean going forward? You would think that there's going to be another vote at some point where people formally say no casinos allowed in Pope County, right?
I think that's the intent of those that supported that particular Polk County initiative, yes, is that we would have a vote at some point in the future to decide for ourselves. Obviously, the results of the general election, in which we overwhelmingly rejected the amendment to the state constitution for Casino Polk County, kind of indicates that it's going to be a losing proposition if it comes before the citizens at this point. So we'll have to see, when the quorum court and the county judge decide to bring that forward to the county. And I don't know if that'll be next year. I don't know if it'll be the year after.
Okay.
But those who want the casino built will be pushing pretty hard to get that vote going forward pretty soon, I'm sure.
So, is, I guess, in your particular race, Russellville mayor, is this the issue? I mean, does your opponent have a different position that you're opposed to the casino? Does your opponent, is he for it, or is this? Do you see it as the issue, but maybe other people don't see it as a big of an issue? What's your take on this?
Well, I started running my candidacy not as a single issue candidate because I feel like I have a lot to offer the citizens of Russellville. But the predominant issue that keeps coming up is the issue of the casino. My opponent has will not take a stand on whether he is for or against the casino. I know early on he was actually on the committee driving Arkansas forward in developing and writing the initiative and pushing forward the initiative to get Polk County included in the constitutional amendment. But when that information was revealed in the local paper, he stated, well, first he stated that he wasn't aware that he was on the committee, and then subsequently asked to be removed from the committee. And since that time, he's indicated that he had no position on whether we had a casino in Russellville or Polk County,
Okay.
and that he says that it's up to the citizens to make that decision. So he hasn't made a stance. I feel very strongly about it, and I feel like as a representative of the citizens, they need to know where I stand on that issue.
Do you know, and I'm glad that you're using this platform to let them know that. Do you know about maybe state representatives or state senators from that area? Are they divided on this, or are they in unison, and are they generally for or against this idea? Have they come out publicly in any way that you know?
Paul, everyone that I've talked to, we've got one new state senator, we have one new representative from our district, and several others. And everyone that I have talked to who has stated anything in public has said they are opposed to a casino in Polk County. So, from that perspective, I'm very proud of those elected officials on the state level who have stated unequivocally that they are opposed to a casino.
Well, Richard Harris, candidate for Russellville mayor, sir, I wish you the best of luck and really appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. I guess you have plans to go to the polls some point today.
Well, yes, I do, Paul. I'm a working man, and I've got an employer that expects me to do my job, so I'll be working today, but I will try to break away a couple of times today to get out there and visit with the voters. But unfortunately, I do have a job, and I have to meet my due dates and deadlines.
Imagine
I'll do
that.
the best I can.
Imagine that. You have that's great. Well, Richard, I appreciate it, sir. Best of luck to you, okay?
Thank you very much, Paul.
All righty. Folks, that telephone number, 870-275-9799.